For 5 weeks, the anticipation has been building. It is playoff time.
Dallas Fuel punching their ticket to the playoffs.
The Shanghai Dragons have actually done it!
Spitfire, red hot, heading into our stage playoffs.
Welcome to the Overwatch League! Say goodnight!
Titans continue to dominate the Overwatch League.
Shock absolutely living up to the hype.
And the Gladiators just keep on rolling.
The Spartans secure the final spot in the playoffs.
NYXL, they don't play by the rules!
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise! I hope you guys are ready.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another day of the Overwatch League. We are getting ready to go into our final quarterfinal matches to set the stage for tomorrow. The next 2 days coming up for those semifinals. I'm, of course, Kilios, joined as always by Wolf, and we're kicking things off with a banger. We've got NYXL going up against the Gladiators, followed up by Fuel versus the Vancouver Titans. Whoever wins these matches here today, they're going to be playing against each other in the semifinal.
Right. That is exactly right. So we might get that New York-Vancouver match that everyone was looking for in Stage 1 if they're both able to take victories today, given how the seeding works here. Obviously, we've already had Shock and Spark seeded into the top part of those semifinals. Those matches will be tomorrow, and the grand finals will be on Sunday. You can see the matches listed that will be on ABC as well. Again, esports on major television, always an exciting thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Earlier start time, so make sure you guys take note of that and set your alarms. But both of these teams have had some struggles as of late, Wolf. NYXL suffering 2 losses back-to-back to the Atlanta Reign, as well as Gladiators suffering a loss to Boston.
Yeah, and this is kind of a weird situation, right, where you look at 2 teams that are big, strong teams that had great stages overall, but come off a loss into playoffs. It does sometimes get into your head. It does sometimes, demotivate you, but we know New York in the past has had a lot of losses towards the end of stages where they've already been guaranteed playoffs and then still done well. Everyone says they like to choke, but they've made so many finals before.
Yeah, I mean, they're consistent at getting that far. It's just getting across that final little bit in the finish line has been very difficult for them. I mean, one of the key members, of course, has got to be Jonak. We expect the team to rally behind him a bit here today to try to find success.
Yeah, I feel like the playstyle of New York is all about how much poke Jonak is able to get, how many kills he's able to get. Those final blows are so huge. He's second in the league right now in that regard. So, we have to look to see Jonak play a little bit more consistently here. If he's taken out by Shaz, if he is, dominated by the potential dive we might see from the Gladiators as well, then that's an issue. If you take a look at the stats between these 2 players, you can see hero damage favors Jonak here. He's fewer deaths and also a significantly larger amount of final blows per 10. 5 final blows per 10 minutes is pretty insane for Zenyatta as a hero. So it's a support hero, right? So Jonak's domination has defined what New York's playstyle has been, not only this year and in this meta, but last year as well. So he's one of the key players we're looking to see. How well he plays tonight may determine the success or failure of the NYXL.
Well, they got shut down by the Seoul Dynasty last time in Stage 1. Dynasty failed to qualify this time, so they have to get through the LA Gladiators. Let's see if they can do it. Let's bring them out on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the NYXL.
Coming off of 2 back-to-back losses to Atlanta, a lot of people are putting the Gladiators above New York right now, but we have to remember 4 finals last season, not the grand finals at the end of it all, but they have made 4 playoff finals, 1-2. The last playoffs was their worst result ever, as they fell to Seoul Dynasty in the round of 8. They're looking to make sure that doesn't happen again tonight against the Gladiators. Once again, favorites, but we know New York recently has slipped. Even when they are at the top of the standings, even when they are on top of the world, mistakes are made. And we'll see if they can prevent those tonight.
I mean, still a lot of people rating them in that top 3. The Gladiators looking to overtake that spot by getting the win here. Let's see if they can do it as we bring them out on stage. Ladies and gentlemen, your home team, it's the LA Gladiators.
There's no doubt that this being the home team is going to play a big factor here in the LA Gladiators. And sometimes when you face a team like New York, it feels like there's no way you can lose. The crowd's behind you either way. And you're the team that, if you win it, everyone heralds you as you are another team that's defeated NYXL. There's only been 2 this season. You'll be the 3rd. If you lose, how can they blame you, right? And I think with that mentality, it is really easy for this team to play at peak performance here in this playoffs.
Yeah, really like the sign there. Just do whatever Baby Bay did. I don't know if it's quite going to be that easy here for the Gladiators, but Decay, especially if he's going to be on the Zarya, should be able to put on a pretty darn good performance. He's going to be going up against Nene, who, as of late, has been struggling alongside the rest of the NYXL roster.
He certainly has. You know, ever since that grab was missed last playoffs, Nene has certainly been falling down the list of Zarya players in this league. He was once considered the best. He was at the top, even ahead often of Sinatra, but now he's passed by the likes of Sumin Su. If you take a look at hero damage per 10, very competitive here. Decay's leading just slightly. It's a very close matchup between these two on the Zarya. Decay was Korea's best Zarya player. You know, when he was playing on Kongdu Panthera, this part, him and Roar moved into the Gladiators, not the Shanghai Dragons. So this is a matchup that is really exciting. We're going to be tracking very closely as this series develops.
Yeah, we might not even get Decay on that Zarya for some of these maps. Let's go ahead and see where we're starting. It's going to be Lijiang Tower to kick things off on Control. Just to give you guys the reminder, this is going to be a first to three. So draws not going to contribute to your score. Have to get 3 map wins. Loser will select the next map. So Lijiang to start. Let's see who can kick things off with that first map victory and be that much closer to the semifinals. As we will be moving into Control Center.
This is a map of Control that you don't see a lot of variation in compositions on. It is always going to be the Reinhardt Zarya here on Control Tower. There's just not a lot of space to work with to run anything like a Pharah. Wrecking Ball, very difficult to execute. So we will see the mirror here. And once the New York get into position, they're going to look to use that poke with Jonak. Look at how far Mono is out in front. And then Jonak's going to get the angle. You can see it here on the left side.
A little poke damage going forward onto Decay here on the left side flank from NYXL's perspective. Push forward, trying to get a catch, unable to do so. Pushing forward here is Decay, trying to build up that energy. Only going to be hovering around 40, but Void's going to be knocked out of the mech, so that's going to be a very solid start for the side of NYXL. They nearly finish off that Baby Diva. Gladiators trying to keep Void alive, but the first cap going to be coming through for NYXL.
All right, Jonak, 52% here of a Transcendence. It's a race for that right now. He's behind Shaz. He's going to need to do some of that healing there on the Meko to get that closer.
Already, though, you take a look, Nene really stepping up 70% for the 48 that Decay has here at the moment. So very solid start for NYXL. They can maintain control. Mono taking a lot of damage. The barrier going lower and lower. Now going to be broken down. Decay is there to scoop the kill. Managed to find that one. Transcendence is not able to come in. Too much of an overcommitment from Jonak to try to use it there, but actually is going to be using now in the fight as they try to maintain control of the point. But the grab is now going to be online for Decay. He slams it down. He's going to be able to catch 2 right here onto the front. The sound barrier coming out from Mono. Trying to keep them in this fight now. The flip still not coming through in favor for the Gladiators. About to hit 40% for NYXL, but Meko's going to be losing out on the suit. They keep grinding away, trying to get this flip. Mono, again, getting juggled back, taking a lot of damage. Libero not going to be able to escape. They managed to lose out on Aurora. The shadow comes down.
Huge for New York.
Void and Decay, but they can't get the kills outside of Decay. Need a little bit more than that, and with hydration going down, that should be it. Should be enough for them to maintain control. Nene going to get picked. The Namo going to go down. The meter's still contested by Gladiators, but NYXL, as you say, they keep moving up. Now at 60%. Another Transcendence out from Jonak. Pops that one on the point, just keeping Mono alive as long as he possibly can.
Incredible trans timings here from Jonak, making sure New York can hold this point, and they know they're building grab faster. They might even win this fight.
Yeah, Big Goose going to be taken down, and that is going to be the retreat call for the Gladiators, fighting tooth and nail to try to get it, but they cannot.
Insane, and they did it with Jonak using 2 Transcenses to the layman that looked like they were nonsensical. There's no way they could turn this fight with the trans. They bought time, they returned to the point, then they did more damage in that last fight. He's going to have to grab first. And this is 100-0 potential here for New York if they can win this fight right now.
Yeah, suddenly this is becoming an OT push here, and Hydration's gonna get picked off. Roar going low. Transcendence has to be used early. The Shadow comes in. They manage to find Nene. Can they kill him off, though? They do manage to take him down. And this will be the flip coming in for the Gladiators, unless NYXL can pull out another miracle. That's not going to happen, so not 100-0, but still long way to the top for the Gladiators to try to take this round.
The Gladiators are going to have to take a fight away from the point. They're going to have to take a fight in this hallway, perhaps at the top of this staircase, because they need this grab to delay the fight. They know they don't have a Transcendence. Nene's going to come over here with the grab. They're playing back here, very risky. If the grab goes onto the point, there's almost no way they're going to survive through it. Even Big Goose doesn't yet have the last part of his sound barrier, so surviving through that grab is going to be so incredibly difficult. Jonak's going to have his trance in this fight too. There's so much more staying power here for New York. This is the hardest fight the Gladiators are going to have to win.
Let's see if they can come out on top, or if NYXL will just be able to close this round out.
He's got the barrier
really
now.
Swiftly. Barrier online, as you say. Rockets coming in from above from Void, trying to poke them down. Drops down into the back. That's going to be the grab coming through. The beat's ready. Void trying to zone them back with the bomb. Manages to do so. Bomb thrown out from Meko. Everybody's just going to be hiding around the pillar. They're trying to keep themselves safe. Rally out from hydration, trying to survive. Still getting chipped lower and lower. The armor coming through, keeping him in the fight for a little bit longer. The beat comes in. The grab afterwards from Decay. Transcendence now out from Jonak. Shatter gets dropped in from Mono, but it's not going to be able to hit anything. Transcendence rolls for Shaz as well. Gladiators still holding the point, but at 55%.
This is an insanely close fight, but the New York Excelsior didn't get value out of their ult advantage. The Gladiators played passive, they played safe. The barrier was good from Big Goose. Shaz built a trance. And now the New York are the ones on the back foot. Here comes the Shatter potentially here on the side.
Yep, they see the bubble used. Drops the hammer, but he goes straight into the shield. Fire Strike even going to be taken away as well by that D-Matrix from Meko. Libero. Chunk lower and lower, down to about half. Gladiators off the point for the moment. NYXL advancing steadily, looking for some kills. The flip nearly there. They have to contest this. They step forward.
The grab.
Roar staying over onto the point. Grab is online. He's waiting for his moment. Echo nearly gets taken out of the back. Decay almost has the grab as well. Goes ahead, throws in the grab. It's going to be Transcendence out from Shaz as they try to survive. The flip comes through for NYXL.
Shatter's
now into overtime. Bombs up over the top. No kills on the back of the Shatter. Bomb gets the pop, but it's not going to find anyone. Void makes it back into the mech safely. Shield's going to be expiring on either side. Meko tosses his self-destruct. Manages to find Shaz.
Shaz is down here. This is their chance to flip this. They've got to get Roar.
Meko pushing forward. The Rockets come out, and Jonak manages to find the kill. Remember, they're in control of the point. The OT going to start ticking away very rapidly. As long as they can clear the Gladiators off, they do so, and they take the first round. Gladiators, they put up one hell of a fight in the second half of that. But NYXL still looking dominant.
And it is a good look for New York that they're able to win a chaotic fight like this. Extended fights are never the fights that New York are great at taking. They are great at getting the first kill, winning the fight off of a single pick, poking with Jonak, getting the kill on the enemy tank, using Mono to set up the pressure. In chaotic moments like this, Jonak changed his playstyle. He tranced in moments that looked crazy. His decision-making on the Zenyatta is never what he's really known for. It's his aim, but his decision-making there to trance twice in fights that were otherwise lost, to keep control of the point, to build that 99%. Very impressive to see, but on the other side, Gladiators are looking good under pressure too. Their ult economy way better overall than New York's in those fights, relying on Big Goose more than Shaz to shut down the grabs. This is certainly anyone's game to take.
Well, could be settled here if NYXL can take Night Market, get that 2-0. Gladiators, they want that third and final round. They want to start things off with a map victory. Void already taking a lot of damage. Jonak free reign right now, has that armor, feels comfortable. He's poking people down. Meko loses out on the suit. The Baby Diva goes down, but it's at the cost of Roar and hydration. Now Mono on the trade. 2 for 2, points unlocked, but no one able to make their way over yet. Seems the Gladiators might have the inside track.
You could see that Jonak is trying to pick somebody off using the rest of his teammates, but they're not able to close the distance, so he keeps changing targets. They will lose control at this point eventually as the Gladiators do sweep in.
They peel their way back. Big Goose, he pokes out through the window, sees the return of Mono. Knows that they were coming around that side. First cap still not going to be found by anybody. Decay trying to push forward. The grab's going to be online. He wants to get Meko out of that suit. Transcendence is already going to be used from Jonak. Grabs online, but Anamo will be able to respond with that sound barrier. First grab comes in from Nene. Manages to find 2 over onto the side. Shatter hits. Beat comes through, but still Roar will fall. The focus fire from NYXL just too much for the Gladiators to try to keep their team sustained. They finish off Jonak at the end, but they're still not going to be able to take this.
The focus fire, as you say, was really the winning factor here as Big Goose overextends again and will be picked off and is killed. Now New York can play forward, they can play aggressive. Jonak's out in this area right here is where he's going to get the most value out of his ranged poke. It's what he's known for, it's what New York is known for. Mono stands way out in front and you can see the orbs flying. We'll look for Jonak to poke down targets, then the New York Excelsior are going to collapse on those weaker targets and win the fight away from the point. But they don't have ultimates right now, so that's what they're looking for. They see the drop down, they disengage here, now they're going to take the fight to the chokes on the point.
Bomb to open things, Void throws it into the back, shield comes up, Mono going to be safe, Meko using his as well. Roar gets the block. So 2 ults going to be down, Shaz building up rapidly for that Transcendence in the meantime. Is now going to have it ready to go, but Jonak is lurking just dangerously behind him, now has his Transcendence. Roar needs this Shatter to knock down multiple members on NYXL if they want to get the flip on that ultimate, but Big Goose is just going to be taken down right off the bat. Now Roar joining him, the cleanup coming through. NYXL maintaining control, now at 50%.
This is such a good look for the New York Excelsior, taking these fights in the fashion that we've seen them dominate all this year with. In the 3-3 meta, there was some shakeups against Atlanta. There were some problems keeping Mono safe. He was getting picked, he was overextending. But on this map right now, it feels like they're back to the old formula. Nene playing more passively, maximizing damage on the defense, while threatening with poke in the open areas. Then as soon as the drop down comes down, backing off to the point. Ults are even here, but they have positional advantage.
Well, Anamo, sound barrier coming online, has that one ready to go, but the Transcendence comes in first. Jonek keeping everyone topped off. Shatter gonna be dropped, Mono gonna be interrupted during the middle of that, so loses that for free. Roar still holding his Shatter, but as we get ready to approach 90%, again, he needs it to be big. He's going lower, he's in the corner, the Shatter gonna be coming out, manages to catch two people, but can they get the kills? The beat is gonna be there. Charge manages to find Libero. They take one down, but is that enough for the Gladiators? Because now Roar is out of the fight. Beat comes in from Big Goose, just a little bit too late to try to get the Rhine in the mix of things. Chases forward, looks for Anamo, manages to finish him off with the left click.
Amazing plays here by Big Goose. That pick might secure them this point. They need it. They cannot lose this fight.
He's looking for a boop off the map, goes to the back. Jonek has another Transcendence ready to roll, pops that one instantly. Shaz getting closer and closer, but taking so much damage, manages to get it right in the last second to keep himself alive. Gets pinned, but still has that trans rolling. Nene gets the grab, denied away. Mekko gonna be taken down. Now Jonek and Mono gonna be eliminated as well. The cleanup is here for the Gladiators. They will get the flip again at 99%.
Insane turn of events here. Big Goose, the hero in this game, prevents Anamo from returning to the fight. That meant that they were able to win out in terms of healing there. Bought enough time for Shaz to get his Transcendence. You were talking about it. Looked like they weren't going to be able to hold there. They were able to turn it around. Now they also have ult advantage. It's albeit very slight, but they've got the rally to stick to the point, and they are going to have this Shatter. New York are going to have to crash into them multiple times to catch up.
Rallies out from hydration, takes a lot of damage. Manages to stay alive, and Jonek's the first one to fall. That's a good boon here for the Gladiators.
It's a lost fight for New York, and what they gained was also minimal. It's twice a lost fight. It's lost in the sense of New York is shut down and will have to go back to spawn, but what they gained, and what they were looking to gain, was Nene at 70-80% of his grab. Time is ticking down against New York here, and Nene needed to get more charge out of that last push. Either way, they're going to have another chance at this, another shot. Remember, this is not to get the point. This is to get ults and to try to force Shaz to use that trance early.
Bubbles out, they nearly find Mono. Lower and lower, and Decay as the shield drops for just a moment. Manages to secure that kill as his grab gets closer and closer to being online.
That's the scariest thing too, is that Nene has not been able to match Decay and grab charge here, and that's almost impossible to do when you're the attacking team on control. But this is an insanely good situation now for the Gladiators because they have the answer to the grab that Nene doesn't even yet have. They have positional advantage, and they know how New York are playing around this room. Decay's got high energy.
I mean, we're so close to 12 ultimates being online simultaneously here at the moment. Rally out from Libero. As they push their way forward. Grab's gonna be ready to go. Nene catches Decay, they take him out. Still gonna be having that grab. If he can rejoin, Big Goose gonna be knocked down by that Shatter, and hydration gets taken out. Over onto the point, NYXL looking for the flip, looking to close this out with a 2-0. Big Goose has to be the hero. He has to try to get the delay. He gets pushed back, the Shatter out from Roar, not gonna be able to fight anything. He makes his way in, the tag up. Beat comes in from Big Goose, and it's just a catch two. But one by one, they trickle in, and one by one, they get picked off. Grab comes in, but they need a massive amount of damage to try to get this flip. Hydration's gonna be taken down, Void's knocked out, Decay is gonna be gone. And that is gonna be the first map going the way of NYXL, 2-0 in Lijiangtao.
New York showing all of their colors in this first map. They played aggressive when they needed to. They were decisive, they were defensive at times. They got to play around Jonek, and they won scrappy fights on Control Tower. This is a scary New York the Gladiators are up against right now. That is for sure.
Looking good here at the start, NYXL, but Gladiators not going down without a fight. Let's see if they can even the odds when we come back for the next map.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile. And by State Farm. Whatever life brings your way, State Farm is here to help life go right.
we make them look epic enough? Of course, the All-Star skin's going to be available at the moment. Limited run, so make sure you snag them while you can.
Yep, you want to show those off.
Of course, you want to go for the Pacific skin.
Everyone's going to be jealous, and you do want to go for the Pacific skin.
Yep, that is going to be the vastly superior team in the T-Mobile Talent Takedown, so make sure you represent. But here we go. NYXL, starting things off, they have the first map victory. Control, though, is always a bit of a random map when it comes down to who can come out on top. Obviously, we saw Shock lose their win streak yesterday to the Dragons. That was the only map they were able to take.
I want to counter that point and say that I feel like with how many different styles of New York we saw on Control, it's an extremely good look for them, because normally they fall in those moments of chaos, right? But they made really decisive choices in terms of how they were going to use their ultimates. Jonak in particular, his Transcendence use flipped that first point. We will have King's Row as the map selection here for the Gladiators. King's Row is always kind of considered the gentleman's map. It is the map where you see most teams look pretty good on it. You know, it's a good all-around map. Its mechanics for this meta as well are the most basic, so you're not looking at a massive change of play style from A to B to C, whereas some other maps, you know, you really do have to change it quite a bit. You look at New Bonnie, for example, Hollywood. How you play the first point changes drastically from how you play the Streets phase. For the Gladiators here, they will be attacking first. It looks they want to just have Big Goose fire out that first shot to see if he can get a pick. And then we will see the swap come through back over to the Lucio. Nene, sitting back, just gonna lob shots.
Arcing him up over the top. Trying to find a couple connections here.
This is one of New York's best maps for their playstyle too. Again, because Jonak has free line of sight from the distance.
Gladiators, the ones to select it. Big Goose over the top of the statue, trying to get some shots in. As they play this one out patiently. That is the name of the game for NYXL. Gladiators just having the pace set for them. Wrapping around through the hotel. I'm out on the other side towards the archway, but Roar dangerously low, pushing forward right now as Mono gets a couple extra swings in, has the Shatter online.
Mekko's
they
positioning.
can't confirm the kill.
Massive Mekko's positioning on the high ground as well. Very annoying to deal with. He's poking behind Roar's shield, so he's gonna have to look, you know, two ways here or take damage.
Well, they work their way up. Shatter gonna be coming through. That's gonna catch two of them. Shaz and Hydration both knocked to the ground, and Nene manages to find a triple. This guy looking new and improved here today.
So where Mekko was on the high ground there meant that he was able to, you never want to be where the Gladiators were if you can help it. They had to go to that position, right? So when you're there, it means the defending team has their diva on the high ground. They can shoot at your Ryan from behind. So you're going to get low and you're going to get focused, or you're going to turn your shield around, right? And then you're going to be exposed to Jonak. You're going to be exposed to a Shatter. So huge plays there by Mekko, understanding the Gladiators were in the wrong side of the map, and it put their Ryan at a disadvantage. So really nice plays by the Excel to finish them off. The grab is ready here first, and Void's out of position, so this is a chance. It will rejoin quickly.
Decay not too far behind. It's all going to be about the impact of those grabs. You can come out on top of him. Grab comes in. Shaz going to be popping the Transcendence. Not on a Roar. Kill going to be there as Mono gets the pin. And that's going to be the Gladiators having to wait and get the resets. Now Transcendence gone. And then they can just start lobbing these right clicks through, trying to farm up for that next one.
This is Nene. His style has changed a lot since what we saw from him in stage 1. But he makes the decisive grab call. They don't try to set up a bomb combo. They don't try to use multiples. They just look for a charge kill. And that's all you need. When you're the defender here, one kill means they have to reset.
Rallies out from both sides, pushing forward towards the point. A minute and a half left on the clock. Shatter from Roar. Manages to find an ammo. Grab still held by Decay, waiting for his moment. Manages to catch the members of NYXL, but now they need the kills. Flip over to the side. Roar manages to get the block. The beat gonna be coming through from Big Goose as they try to stay alive. Beat gonna be matched now by Anamo. Bomb into the back. Unable to find anything for Void. Makes it back in. It gains them a tick. It's about as far as it goes so far. Mekko in the middle of the team, however, is being knocked out. That could be crucial here for the Gladiators to finally get this cap. Looking for the pin. Roar gonna be taken down to the ground. 100 energy here from Nene. The grab online.
This could be huge.
Mono gonna be taken out. Chaz builds up that Transcendence in time. Barely stays alive, retreats, and actually kills off Libero in the end. Gladiators now entrenched onto the point, just need the cleanup, and they will have the cap.
That was such a scary fight for the Gladiators. Absolutely nuts. They were shattered. 3 of them were shattered during when the grab came through as well from Mono, or excuse me, when the Shatter came through from Mono. You know, it looked like Also with a later barrier from Anamo, but there was just no way they could flip it. A huge mistake from Meko. He was once the one we heralded as why they defended that first push, but in that last one, as you said, he went a little bit too far forward, got demeched, and that gave the Gladiators free reign and a bunch of extra damage that was missing on the side of the NYXL, helped them power through. Shatter about to be ready here for Roar. He's been losing out on those most of this map. Let's see if he can change it now.
Rallies out both sides yet again. Pushing forward, Decay, high energy. Gets a grab straight in on top of the shield. Jonek there with that Transcendence bomb into the back, gonna be breaking down Mono's shield here. That means that he cannot protect himself from Shaz and Decay. They managed to find the kills. Maybe even delays for a little bit longer, but the cart will continue to advance. Gladiators, they need to go as fast as they can through this second phase of King's Row.
They certainly do. And it's really good that Decay was able to do a majority of the damage in that next fight. He maintains high energy, you can tell by the pack on his back there. It lights up, you know, when you're high energy. He got 50% of a grab as well. So he's not too far behind Nene. Might be able to lap him if they could take a decisive fight here for B. Look at where Void is standing right now as well. He's on the edge. He's going to look to sweep in and disrupt the positioning of the NYXL and cut them in half. See him there on the right side, the D.Va silhouette. He's going to come in once the New York approach.
Maybe trying to take away this grab that Nene's going to be holding. Down below half, going to be top back up. Nene first to have the grab ready. Throws it down just behind the cart. Manages to get a couple people. The pin's going to be good. Manages to catch a hydration. Mono finds that hit, but 2 kills back into the favor of the Gladiators here. Roar going to be taken down. Decay just solo grabbing basically in on Nene to finish him off. And that will be the cap on to beat 3 minutes on the clock for the Gladiators to try to finish King's Row.
Well, that grab being used is a little bit unfortunate for the Gladiators, but as you say, they've got 3 minutes, so I don't think they're going to be kicking themselves too hard for that one, but it would have been a great tool to have to further their lead and the push. Nene, you know, is not too far ahead in terms of that right now. Let's see if Mono can hit another huge shatter here, because again, he's been threading the needle on these so far against Roar, and I think that's going to be their best tool to get the next grab. He's looking for it. Yep,
pushing forward, Roar. Just has to keep that shield range, so Mono knows. Don't have to use the shatter right now. I'm not gonna find a connection because Roar's just so darn low.
Nene is doing way more damage than Decay around this corner because of the threat of the shatter that they have to play around. He's up to 75% now. High energy, here's the grab.
Bomb going into the back, Roar not really sure which way to look. And that's just gonna lead to a double kill for Meko.
So I want to explain this combo to some of our newer fans. This is the most standard bomb combo that you could ever see. And it's where you set up, where you throw a bomb behind the enemy Reinhardt. They have to turn around to block it, but if they do, they expose themselves to the shatter. It's a lose-lose situation, one of the oldest tricks in the book, but it's really tough to play around that on a map like King's Row, where you're in a small choke point. So the bomb is good. A nice setup again from the tank line for the NYXL.
Back in, Cart still sitting on the corner. Just trying to inch up as much as they possibly can. Fire strikes through as Roar nearly has that shatter ready to go. That is going to be the grab coming in, but Mono taken down first. Big Goose finds the kill. Might have been a boop off the side, but Libero able to trade out the Reinhardts. Neko's got the boosters, he keeps himself safe. Close moment there, but NYXL, they have to give some space up, allowing the Gladiators to advance further, now rounding this final corner.
They just want to play passive. They know if they play this slow, they should be able to force the overtime finish for the Gladiators. They don't need to overextend. Just play it slow, safe, and buy that time. Burn down those last 60 seconds. They're going in now, though.
The rally's out from Libero. That's the go button here for the NYXL as they push forward. Grab comes in, 100 energy here for Decay, trying to find a kill, but Jonik manages to top everybody up with that Transcendence, and now Roar going inside, gets himself taken down.
The team got split up there again. Meko's doing such a great job of isolating these targets. The delay here onto Void's death right before he could remech. It's going to push their time bank down to 30 seconds for the final push. They will have an answer for Nene's grab, but my bigger concern is where the NYXL will fight. They'll fight away from the cart just on this corner, and that means the Gladiators won't necessarily get a chance to contest. And if they do, it'll be a very split up Gladiators that will once again get cut in half by NYXL. They're actually playing more passively, though.
Yeah, you see Void up over the top. He's going to try to line up for that grab beat. NYXL now pushing forward. The beat's going to be coming out. Hydration just crumbles under the pressure. Void, knocked out of the mech, has to pop the bomb just to try to turn something around. Bombs in from Meko straight on top of all of them. Will not be able to find any kills itself, but Roar's going to be taken down. Now Decay gone. He gets the grab up, but no one is there to follow up. Void all on his lonesome trying to survive. The Wrecking Ball comes back in for Hydration. We're going to clean up a kill here on the Jonek, but he is not going to last very long. The shield bash comes through. Jonek finds the kill. And again, it's one after the other getting picked off. The cart stops here no further for the LA Gladiators.
Very much a tug-of-war game there. New York Excelsior, every time it looked like they were going to back off and play passive, that's when Anamo hit the speed boost. They hit the rally, and they engaged on the Gladiators. We are again seeing very decisive play from NYXL. They're calling their targets, they're focusing them down quickly, and this is absolutely insane play we're watching right now.
I mean, Gladiators, they picked this map, they have to feel confident in their defense. Let's see what they can do when we come back for NYXL's half.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. NYXL pulling off a pretty successful defense, denying the finish on Kings Row from the LA Gladiators. Don't even have to go that close to the end to get this map win and move up to match point.
Certainly true. The tank line, Mono and Meko, have really been leading the charge. They've been the duo that have set up so many self-destruct kills, so many earth shatters all throughout this season. And it's holding true here again in this round of 8 match.
Of course, we have another one. One final round of 8 match that's going to be happening immediately after this one concludes. The Dallas Fuel going to be going up against the Vancouver Titans. Winner of that series going up against the winner of this series, which right now, given the state of things, is kind of looking like NYXL unless the Gladiators, as I said before the break, can pull off one hell of a defense.
Yeah, it is going to be a tall order, but it is possible. We have seen great defenses from the Gladiators, historically speaking, even last year on Kings Row in particular. NYXL are going to give the Immortality field to Jonak, so he couldn't be potentially counter-sniped there. We've seen that before. And the Gladiators, you know, they chose this map, but they're not going to use an unusual composition. It's just going to be straight-up traditional 3-3 defense. So a mirror here that New York have been dominating them in, especially on Kings Row. It's much closer, of course, on Lijiang. You see the wraparound here on the right side from high ground, trying to find one target that's a bit overextended. And most of the time, that's actually been hydration on the Brigida that they're finding.
It has been taken down early in some of these fights. But
Look at
Kitsy just completely surrounding them.
He gets the high ground again, just like last time. And look at all the damage coming out from this Diva right now.
Yeah, Roar continuously being punished here. Big Goose into the back. The sliver of HP. He barely does get clipped there. Seemed like he was going to be able to make it out alive. They lose the Lucio. Reinhardt taken down to the side of NYXL. But still, longer run back here for Big Goose. He at least has that speed.
Yeah, and there's no healing. Everyone's getting picked off by Jonak because they don't have that Lucio healing. They just have to walk out. It's a bad matchup to lose the Lucio versus losing the Ryan in a poke war. 100% you want the Lucio. Meko on the high ground again crushes it in that room. Void's unable to contest him. He tried, but he lost out there. And it's so important to have a different angle of damage with the poke playstyle that New York is having. And Meko both times, attack and defense, we're able to get behind the shields, get behind Roar, and do that extra damage. A great start here for NYXL. Ult, pretty even between these two teams, but in terms of the time bank, you can't do much better than this.
Yeah, looking good. Gladiators knowing that they just kind of had to concede the point. Just waiting around the corner. The standard choke plays here. Mono into the front, armor pack. Gonna be coming in, grabs out from Nene, catches the members. Gonna be the trans in as Jonik tries to keep his team top up. Bomb's gonna be exploding on either side. No one taken down yet. The Shatter's not leading to much either. Beats out now from both teams. As we just have one scrappy fight right here on top of the cart. Either side still looking for that first kill. Or taking a little bit of damage, trying to push forward, swinging away, unable to find any connections, and the fire strike as well. Gonna be denied by that defense matrix. Nene, however, he's gonna be the biggest benefactor. He is surging, as you say, getting closer and closer to that next grab. Jonik is a little bit further behind him for the Transcendence. In the meantime, the cart's gonna advance.
You have to be decisive in a fight like this. You have to use an ult. You have to look for a pick if you're the Gladiators, but they played passively. It took an even fight that the defenders of the cart will always win. They've got the passive healing of the cart. They've got Nene in better position. He's doing way more damage. And now he's gonna have a grab here. Right around this corner.
Jazz does get that Transcendence online just in time. Pops it instantly. Pin coming through. Roar going lower and lower.
Mono.
Unable to kill him off. Now the responding grab comes in. Jonik with the Transcendence himself. Trying to keep the team alive. Mono push so far for the Shatter. It's absolutely huge. He catches 4 members on the side of the Gladiators. Jonik, the first one to scoop a kill. Shaz gets taken down. They get the bash on a Roar. They finish him off. That cart's going to be rolling into B in just a moment. NYXL explode forth on the back of Mono's ult.
They are signing the death warrants for the Gladiators for them right now with this. Mono went behind the team looking for a massive shatter, was displaced, and still made it happen. He knew he had a purpose. He knew it was his destiny to land that shatter. He was back there with no fear. And this is the Mono we've come to love, especially this season on the Rhine. And he is making the big plays.
He was alone for so long in the middle of the team, and no one took him down. Libero now going to be taken out, though, and Roar finds the pin, so finally some ground to stand on here for the Gladiators as they push forward, trying to clean up as much as they can. Decay looking to take the lead as far as that grab charge is concerned, and he will be able to do so, albeit slightly.
Very sloppy attack there from New York. There wasn't really much of a game plan on that one, and the Gladiators were able to immediately notice they were out of position. So that's the turnaround the Gladiators really needed, because it looked like this map was really going the way of the NYXL. I mean, there was no stopping them. They had the momentum, but winning that fight means they get to control this choke here now. As you can see, Roar leading the charge with a bubble.
Still could just be the swing of a pendulum. Hydration going to be taken down. Jonik manages to find that kill. Grab comes through. He's got the Transcendence ready to go, but Libero's still going to be pressured. Pin coming out. Going to pick off somebody else, but I believe he found the Trancing Zenyatta, so was unable to get anything. Big Goose going to be knocked to the ground by the Shatter here, but the shield is up from Roar. He keeps him safe. Gladiators peel back behind the cart.
Then he's got to grab, though. Then he's going to grab, and they have to back off. They don't have Trance, and they know it. Shaz is trying to build that as fast as he can, but he's not going to have it in time.
Void's taking one away in this match so far. Can he do it again? The crucial moment. Grab ready. Near 100 energy for Nene.
He knows the Matrix on cooldown.
Grab's gonna be coming out. Manages to find all the members of the Gladiators. Bombs up over the top from Mecco, looking for the picks, and it's gonna be Decay taken down. Cart starting to inch forward. Big Goose trying to keep it contested. Roar going lower and lower, and he is surrounded on all sides by members of NYXL. He gets taken out. Void pops the bomb in desperation. Will be able to make it back into the back, but can they stop the cart? Doesn't seem likely.
Doesn't seem likely. They've got the staying power here with the support ult as well for Jonak.
Beat's gonna be coming out, catches everybody aside from Roar. Jonak holding onto the Transcendence, but Nene
Almost
nearly had another grab.
Yeah, he's so
swapped
close.
over onto that Sombra, building up rapidly, trying to get that EMP online, but Roar is gonna be taken down right at the start of the fight. Grab comes out. Don't believe it caught anybody. Okay, threw that
That's
one on
a
the side.
Nene grab for you.
He's trying to find Decay. Was unable to lock him down, but it might not matter. Hydration gets booped off the point, eliminated, and they will glide through NYXL. They are now at match point.
Very different feeling to see Nene with a grab to catch a Sombra in this playoffs. They're winning the fight, they're winning the map in dominant fashion. Mono hitting the shatters when needed. And this series feels like it's all locked up already.
It really does feel that way. One more map for NYXL to take this and glide their way into the semifinals. The LA Gladiators have to reverse sweep them now in order to advance. We'll see if they can pull it out when we see you guys on the other side of halftime.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
They don't just play for a team. They play for every fan, every rival, every moment, every match. And when everyone watching expects the best, they perform with the best.
The NYXL are trying to get back to their winning ways, and they're off to a pretty darn good start. It's 2-0 over the Gladiators as we enter halftime. Welcome back into the Blizzard Arena, everybody. It's Chris Bucket here at the desk, and we've got a special guest joining us once again today. We want to bring on as many players as we can, and with such great Zenyatta's in the game, we had to bring the bowl cut master. Dogman is in the building, and your hair looks so much better than when Brendan cut it.
I think it was that exact same seat as well, where I cut your hair, in that very seat.
It was this chair?
Yeah.
Oh, man, yeah, it's bringing back some real bad memories right now.
I feel like Dogman 2022, this is his spot on the desk. Let's talk about this match, though, because on one hand, we have Jonak, who is the MVP of 2018, going up against Shaz, who has held his own for the Gladiators so far. When we were watching game number one, though, very passive gameplay from both sides. Who do you think had the edge in this one?
I think overall so far, Jonak has definitely had the edge. I mean, even though, right-clicking a lot isn't the best, he's been really proficient at getting those picks and getting a lot of damage off. So hats off to Jonak. He's playing phenomenal this series so far.
And Zoe, before the show started, on our pre-show, you said Nene has had some struggles recently. How is he looking today?
I mean, I still see the same issues there. There are bubbles who are not quite timely. He's using them a little bit too early, and then they don't really have them during crucial team fights. And also some grabs, which are still, there's a few question marks every once in a while. But overall, I do think New York looked better, but that was mainly because Gladiators took a really passive approach, which is not working against New York.
Brian, it's your time to rant.
Yeah.
I know it's been coming. You've been frowning backstage since you picked the Gladiators today. You're in the whole O2. What's up, man?
I'm a little bit Mardy, honestly. This is a bit disappointing.
You're Mardy?
Coming from the Mardy, yeah.
Disappointed again.
It means a little bit moody, a little bit angry,
Got
okay?
it. Thanks.
But this is actually just atrocious from Gladiators. You've had two matches from Dogman, Atlanta Reign. They played against New York. You know what they did against them and what worked. And you know exactly how to play into them. And you can see hints of that as they're trying it. And we actually have specific examples as well where we're seeing this take place, where they're aggressing a little bit, but they're not following up on a lot of their aggression. And they're just kind of playing very passive against New York Excelsior. New York Excelsior are a classic defensive team. You just can't really do that. And I mean, look at this as well. You're trying to get out of the fight. Nene just picks off Decay from the side. You've already got spawning disadvantage. Here's another example as well. They just don't commit hard enough on a lot of these targets. Mano getting away with absolutely bloody murder in this match. His stats have been unreal. His charges as well. It's just not acceptable as well. I mean, we expected way more coming in from Gladiators here, and they are just kind of getting steamrolled a little bit now.
Can they turn their game around, Dogman? I know you've been scouting your opponents in the league. What can Gladiators do to improve their game?
I think it's very difficult. Like you can say they can play more aggressive and they need to play more aggressive, but like changing your play style at this time is just so difficult because like that would take so much coaching in the back line.
Sure.
Like you just have to change everything.
But wouldn't you say that that is expected of a top team these days? Like you look at Shock, they can play a little bit more defensive where it's needed. They can play a little bit more aggressive when it's needed. Like if you want to be considered a top team, you need to be able to do this in these matches.
It's hard because nobody else has been able to replicate what Shock's been doing, right? Like everybody's been trying to stick to their play style the whole time.
Sure.
And even if that's not working, how are you going to change that in such a short amount of time?
Do you feel like the Gladiators look like the Gladiators, though? Because I remember them playing a little bit more aggressive. This time they look scared more so than anything.
Yeah, and I think that all happened in the Boston game because against Boston Uprising, they played a lot of DPS against Gladiators. And, man, they just lost so much. I don't know. They lost all their confidence, I guess, after that game.
I want to see it come back out. Let's see if they can bring it in the second half. Before we get to that second half action, it's time for class. Class is in session. We got our professor on the floor. What's up, Josh?
I wouldn't say that I'm a professor, Puckett, but thank you very much for that. I've been taking a look at what New York have been doing, and I've been actually more impressed than perhaps some of the other analysts on the desk have been with how aggressive they've been able to time their aggression a lot better, I think. So I've got insights powered by Intel where I want to run through how Nene and Mano have been working together. This is a classic play that the NYXL execute over and over and over, but the timing of it was crucial. So Nene has his grav up, and it's double support ult available for the Los Angeles Gladiators. A lot of the time, teams will struggle to get value out of that grav without a bomb on the other side as well. But this is what they're going to do. Nene's going to grab aggressively. New York are actually going to take the initiative. Mano's going to flank around, and then they're going to put bubble on him and pin into the backlines. This is a strat that you'll see coming out from New York repeatedly. So here it goes again. So Nene is going to go aggressive. They're going to find people in the grav. Mano hooks around instantly. It's such a clean, well-executed play, and it's something that New York do all the time. If you missed it, don't worry. Here it is from Mano's perspective as well. So he goes, they know that they're going to go aggressive. It's a good time to go aggressive and take control of the tempo of the fight. He hooks around the back, gets the bubble, dives into the back line. And I think this is perfectly aggressive from Nene. So back to you on the desk.
Thank you so much, Josh. Great breakdown there from Sideshow of just what is working so far from the NYXL. Is that Josh? Hey buddy.
Get off the camera
shot. All right. Dogman, let's talk about the remaining games, though, because this is not over for the Gladiators. Looking at the maps that they have available, remember, loser picks the next map, so it's all Gladiators' choice. When we're going into these next ones, do you want to see Hanamura, Paris, or Temple of Anubis? After watching their first half, which one's going to be best suited?
I feel like the best map to take against New York Excelsior has to be Temple of Anubis. I mean, that map is like the bread and butter probably of Gladiators. I mean, of a lot of these teams that are good at Anubis, they can just keep running Anubis and play it well. I think especially on defense, they can get that first hold.
And you sticking with the triple? 3 tanks, 3 supports?
Maybe. I mean, on first point specifically, you can mix it up. You can run Orisa comps. You can run Bunker. I mean, there's a lot of different things you could do, but maybe. They might stick to 3-3.
So is this going to be done in 3?
I think so, Puckett. I'm sorry. And I hate to say it in front of the Gladiators crowd. Luckily, they're not listening to me right now.
Yeah.
So it's all good. We're
playing with
all
their
good.
sides.
Yeah, they're fine back there. They're fine back there. No, I think it's a very one-sided affair. Disappointingly so, because I actually thought it's going to be a bit closer than what we're seeing right now. But unless Gladiators can change it up quickly, as in a short turnaround of the halftime, I don't really see them taking the next.
Bren, you are about to be at the bottom of our predictions leaderboard once again.
I was there before you were born.
Do you have any faith in your Gladiators team in the second half?
No, I think New York are going to take it 3-1 right now. The good news is, though, I think we're probably going to be seeing that Vancouver Titans and New York Excelsior match, potentially.
There you go.
Most likely, 99% of the time.
99% of the time. We still have that Dallas match a little bit later against the Titans, but this one continues on the other side of the break. Don't go anywhere.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Toyota, official North American partner of the Overwatch League. Toyota, let's go places.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's Mother's Day weekend, and we've got mothers in the crowd. Hydration's mom here to show her support for her son up on stage. Unfortunately, things not quite going the way of the LA Gladiators for now, but they're not out of it yet. They need a reverse sweep, however, and NYXL has been looking like their former selves. They're looking dominant.
They are looking really dominant right now. We got to talk about maps for a moment here. It was discussed briefly on the desk. Dogman saying we've got to see Anubis. I completely agree. We've seen a lot of success from the Gladiators on Anubis. 4-0-1 on the map right now. And it's a map where they could show bigger compositions, more than just the 3-3 they've been getting dominated on, as Dogman was alluding to. You can see a reset Junkrat. You can see Dive on the attack. You can see potentially Decay's Genji, right? So there's a lot of different things that they can do should they choose it, and it looks like that is in fact where they are going to take us. So no-brainer choice here for the side of the Gladiators, but this is where they're going to have to start the reverse sweep here if they want to take this series. So it's going to have to be a dominant map of Anubis. We all know it's possible. We know what they are capable of on this map. Let's see if they could do it.
Well, time will tell. We'll see if they can crush it, get that momentum swing into their favor, and try to claw back this series. Even us up, NYXL still going to be sitting at that match point. If they can close out Temple of Anubis, they will be advancing into the semifinal. And you remember, I mean, this level of play from NYXL was a bit unexpected given the recent losses and the fact that they finished lower than they ever have in the Overwatch League.
Yeah,
lowest seed they've ever had.
And this is really a big bounce back. I really like what Sideshow broke down in the halftime earlier. They're really playing around mono, setting up for bombs, shatter combos. They're setting up for, single kills in these fights where you can pin someone out of a fight. They have come into this match so prepared. It looks like they were almost preparing for this more than they ever were against the last two Atlanta matches. They were thinking ahead. That's what New York is known for. For the attack here, they are going to run the Winston here. They're not going to run the Genji or anything like that because they know Excelsior is very likely to run 3-3. They scout that now, so no reason for Decay to play anything different.
No, just going to be sticking through, assessing their options. Jump onto the high ground here from Roar briefly. Just trying to get a little bit of cleave damage. Zap him up, try to get that primal online.
So difficult to run the Winston here against a Rhine defense. You've got the verticality, but it's hard to actually maximize damage when the enemy team knows that that is your game plan. As you can see here.
Jump back in. Roar again. This time going to be bashed up, going low. Ooh, almost gets picked off. Manages to escape though. Keeps his life intact.
That goes demeched.
Yeah, it does get popped out. Roar doing some solid work there. Manages to find that. Can't kill off the baby DB yet. And actually, Meko's surging forward, pistoling his way back in. At 90% here at the moment, they jump in. They're trying to finish him off. Meanwhile, point start getting capped. Primal Rain's going to be coming out. Roar juggling them around, finds Jonek, gets him in the corner. Koopa stops him for the kill. That should be a very swift point A take going over to the Gladiators. They finish up Meko.
All right, well played. Meko finally gets his mech back, but it is too late. And Hydration made the big play to actually keep Roar alive in that last fight when, it looked like he was getting picked off. He was discorded. He's going to make the swap back over to Ryan right now. You can see him leap into the spawning room. But good plays by the Gladiators to get that extra pressure onto Meko. Once he was demeched, they knew they could take the fight. There's a potential for a double cap here with the ults the Gladiators have as well. So they're going to use them. They are going to take this fight. They're going to take it hard. They're going to look for a single pin kill or just one burst target taken out in this fight. That's a bad look, though, getting knocked off the side. Decay here. He can't grab.
Have to buy a little bit more time. So he's going to grab. It's going to be Nene starting things off with one of his own. Pin coming through. Void going to be taken down. Jonek manages to find that, and Roar completely isolated. Will get finished off. Hydration as well. Going to fall to the Zen God as Jonek continues to push forward.
It's very systematic how New York Excelsior take these team fights. It's the same thing. Oh. It's the same thing Sideshow described earlier. You grab, you know Decay can't grab. He's knocked, right? You get a pin, you get a kill off the pin. As soon as the pin comes through, Jonek gets the kill. He's got the targeting there. It's a very Korean style of play. Rinse and repeat, the cookie cutter strat. But if you're so good at it that no one can oppose you, then it doesn't matter if they know what you're going to do. If you can execute it every time, great Korean teams like SKT in the past have been known for this. Huge fire strike here.
Yep, checking them out. Jumping their way down, right side approach. A bit of a rarer one here. Gladiators changing things up, trying to do something a little bit different. Grab is set. Spots out. Meko there over to the side, waiting for his moment. Here is Decay. So all that defense matrix getting used. Transcendence instantly there from Jonak. The bomb. They're trying to buy a little bit of space. Sound barrier helps keep them alive. The Shadow! Massive! 5 members! Again!
No way!
Mono shuts them down!
And they did it again with the bomb combo. You notice in that last fight too, Meko's trying to set this up. You could even see Anamo look for the right click to displace Roar to get the kills. It doesn't happen that way. The bomb doesn't get the kills with the right click from Anamo. Watch this again, okay? You can see, you see the Anamo there, right? He's knocked away. Shatter opportunity right here, right when Roar is trying to set up his own. He interrupts Roar's Shatter with his.
Yeah, Bash coming through as well. Great setup from Libero.
It's insane how many resources are put into what New York is trying to do. Every member of the team is trying to displace Roar. He's tired of it. He's swapping over to Winston again.
Yep.
He's getting owned in this match right now. Unfortunately for the Gladiators, what was a great time bank is fading.
That it is. 4 minutes still on the clock. If they can get the cap here, hopefully shortly, we'll have a fighting chance. Gonna have to build up a couple more ultimates. Decay so far away from the grab. Then they're gonna be throwing his down straight in the front of the point. Bomb at the back, not gonna be able to find anything here. Void just gonna be remeching. Still nothing gained on point B. Void up over the top, knocked down below, half HP, has that Discord orb hovering over him. He's constantly gonna be a focus target. Big Goose just gonna get focused down. Roar still committing the primal rage. A massive disconnect here between the rest of the Gladiators.
I think they're gonna swap, but even that in itself is a big issue. They're gonna be swapping behind an ult charge again. Decay is caught and staggered, will be taken out eventually. New York is cutting this team like a pizza pie into several pieces. One at a time, they're isolated and killed. You end up grabbing the tank line, forcing them out of position. They try to peel back, but then the supports are exposed, and everyone gets cut into different sections of where the map is. And New York are as one. They're a fist, you know? All the members are together as one, punching forward, and the Gladiators are just in pieces.
Grab here at the front, Nene with another one. Catches some instant reset. Instant time bought for NYXL, who are just flexing at the moment.
So now that Mono and Meko also have their ults available, I think they're going to try to take a fight away from the point before the ult advantage overall the Gladiators have can take effect. Look at how far out they're playing right now. Poking, trying to set up for this potentially. In this open area, you could try to put the bomb behind Roar and hit the Shatter right in this choke. You can do it on the point itself if you want to force the Gladiators to take the left side, which it looks like that is what they're going to do. We will see them attempt this, New York. Very carefully, though, because they can get a hold now. It's not about the time bank anymore. It's about just stopping them from taking B in general.
Got 2 minutes. Multiple ultimates available here for the Gladiators, but NYXL going to be exceeding them even in that, as they're just lacking the grab here from Nene. Rallies out from either team.
They're so concerned about Mono. I mean, they are so scared of him right now. They're focusing him down. They're knocking him around.
I mean, they have
Look
to
at where
be
he
scared
is.
of him, given the work that he's been doing in this series so far. Already good kill, though, as Libero's going to be taking another beat. Comes out from Big Goose. Bomb in. That's going to be Roar. Picked off. Bash couldn't get the shield raised. Transcendence going to be used now by Shaz as Nene is just 23% away from that next grab. They still haven't gained a tick. They still cannot get that percentage rolling up. They have to peel back and try to wait for Roar to rejoin.
I mean, in that last fight, Mono was a pinball machine with how many times they tried to displace him. Void comes in, Big Goose looking for the right clicks, Hydration's looking for the whips. And he still is able to help set up that combo in the end. He didn't get the shatter he was looking for, but they got the single kill. And all that focus means that New York are really trading up in terms of damage output because they can't focus Mono down. They're just knocking him around.
That's going to be a huge one there. Void manages to get rid of Nene's grab. Second time he's done that so far this series. They need to translate that into kills. Mono going to be taken down, but they lose Big Goose. Now, going to be delaying that next sound barrier that could be crucial for them to try to get this cap, and Shaz going to be picked off as well. No supports remaining for the LA Gladiators here on the point. Pushing forward, and Void looking for Johnny, but he gets the Transcendence. He manages to stay alive, and Roar gets collapsed upon. Void knocked out of the mech, doesn't have the bomb. They're trying to make their way back in. They managed to get a little over a tick. Second one nearly there for the Gladiators, but this might just be as good as it gets, 58.5%.
You kill the Lucio first in the fight. There's just no way to really heal through all the damage, and the longer fights that you're taking against New York's passive playstyle. It's a great kill. They've got the grab. There's no Transcendence, but I don't know if they're going to get to use it on the point. That's what they want.
They have
Can
the
they close
tag
the
in
gap?
first. Big Goose trying to make his way over there.
He's in.
Does manage to tag in. Forces out the overtime.
The grab has to be massive. It's all
They
up
need to
to
have
DK.
the follow-up. Void.
He's
with the
knocked
bomb.
away.
That's going to be Shaz coming up now with the Transcendence. The grab comes in over onto the bridge. Meko trying to zone them back. Biku's going to be taken down again. They managed to find Libero. That's it right now for the Gladiators. Bomb is out from Void, thrown into the back. The beat comes in from an ammo. That's going to be the grab. Nene snatches him up. Roar going to be knocked to the ground by the Shatter. Net 58.5% is as good as it's going to be. The Gladiators cannot finish here on Temple of Anubis. NYXL, if they can just push past that, they have taken this series. They will advance into the semifinals.
All right, they knocked everyone apart on the Gladiators. They could not use the grab. It's going to have to be about defense, defense, defense here for the Gladiators. Now, this is their map pick. I hope they change it up because 3-3 versus NYXL is not working. We'll see what they're going to run in just a bit, but got to be concerned as a Gladiator fan right now.
Yeah, again, it's going to come down to their defense. Let's see if they can pull it off here if NYXL takes it 3-0.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the NYXL to go on the offensive here. Temple of Anubis, the Gladiators shifting over to defense. That did not work out for them on King's Row. Will it work out for them on Temple of Anubis? That is the big question that we have. This is their map pick, but it's just so rough for them.
It certainly is. I think it's going to be about composition and how they utilize it. We're going to see the Winston here, so just keeping the 3-3. Fans are behind them. We know that much.
Yep, not changing things up, keeping it consistent. Speaking of changing things up, though, it's going to be the Talent Takedown presented by Team Mobile and the All-Star Arcade presented by State Farm coming up next week. The caster is going to be taken to the stage alongside some of the players that are going to be participating in the All-Star Arcade.
All right,
So make sure you tune in.
Indeed, we're going to win that, but back to the match at hand. Take a look at how Roar is going to operate on this Winston. Remember, he used it to attack on A. We're going to see him attempt to... Well, hold that thought, actually. We need to talk about Monos on Sombra.
It's just scouting out for now.
Okay. So, we're going to see Decay and Roar try to use the bubble to build Decay's charge in choke points. He's going to try to leap, get the leap damage, then maximize ult charge so we can build a primal in this first fight.
Drop down instantly, Jonak. Gonna disappear. Fantastic magic trick there for the LA Gladiators. Exactly what they needed.
But for a moment there was Meko on Sombra. I got excited we might see NYXL actually play Sombra for once, but not gonna happen. But look, Roar 50%. They win the fight immediately. They get a single kill, so he doesn't actually get to build the ult charge he wanted, but he'll take it because it's a defense here. That's Time Bank burning away. Roar, look at it, up to 60, 70 now. He's got the bubble, he's immortal.
I mean, the cleave damage is just so significant.
And now he's gonna have a primal to contest the point. That's one of the best things you can get early on A on Anubis is the primal to displace members and cut them apart.
Also gave an early lead for Shaz to get that Transcendence online before Jonak. He's hot on his heels, though, trying to compensate for that first death.
Yeah. Nene, very high energy, though, and they're going to wrap around the back.
Ooh, Jonak sunned up. They managed to find the kill. They leap in. They manage to find him. Pin does come through here on the Void, but he'll be able to survive. Hydration gonna be the only casualty so far on the side of the LA Gladiators. Huge play. They back up. Now the Primal Rage gonna be used. He's trying to juggle people around the rally. Gonna be coming up from Libero as they try to survive.
This is a risky usage, though. I don't know if I like this.
It's gonna be the Transcendence as well. Used by Shaz. Nene has that grab ready to go. Sound barrier out from an ammo, the bomb coming in. He survived for a little bit longer, but Shaz and Decay taken down. Void gonna be knocked out of the mech. Does not have that self-destruct ready to try to get back in.
He used the Primal there to try to trap the NYXL members in the room, and then thus killing them slower and setting up for a better time bank. That was basically a stagger attempt from Roar. But what it ended up turning out to be was everyone collapsed in there with him. Then it gets a surprise kill. New York was ready to turn the fight at any instant. They don't have the ults required to get a double cap here. It's very unlikely they could do it, but still, this is a very, very bad sign here for this map with a huge time bank for NYXL.
The defensive ultimates here for the Gladiators. I think that they should be able to hold him out off, at least for this push, but still massive time bank. Roar's gonna be knocked to the ground. Managed to find that. The beat's gonna be coming through from Big Goose, keeping him alive. Grab comes out, showing instantly there with the Transcendence, but Mono gonna be disappearing. Roar going in with a pin. Will get taken down. Libero manages to claw back that kill. Nene beamed down, however, Decay with 100 energy is such a threat. Mashed up here for the moment. Just gonna be looking for some cleanup. They will hold them off for the moment.
Huge fight for the Gladiators because, you know, after that initial kill and the Shatter came through, remember, it's not even the full B they need, it's just 58%, just shy of the second tick. So that was a really, really scary, tense moment. Crowd's chanting, you know, shields up right now. Everyone's hoping the Gladiators can pull this off. Then he's gonna have a grab, but Shaz did so much damage in the fight, he's got the answer. If they can win this upcoming fight, they could tip the scales in terms of ult economy, then win the next few, and there is a world in which the Gladiators can win this map, but they have to win this fight first. This is the most important one. This is where they can bring it all back. This is where they can bring the series back, or die trying. Their last shot. They cannot fall victim to the charge combo after the grab. We've seen Mono get so much value out of this, just a single pin kill is what they look for.
See what happens. Void taking a bit of damage as Nene just pokes his head around the corner.
Decay's catching up and grab as well. So great for the Gladiators
to take him out of that mech. Void already eating 2 grabs in this series, gonna be looking for a third. Sure, he's still got a room in this valley, but over to the side. He was too far out.
Oh no!
Coming in. Echo's got the bomb. They charge him out, and that's gonna be Roar taken down. Can he rejoin? Can they last long enough for the Rhine to get back in the fight? Hydration gonna be killed on the back of the point behind the sarcophagus. Grab comes in, Trent's gonna be there. They're trying to focus fire. Nene barely managed to get him. Big Goose coming up huge with the kill.
They got on the point.
Drops down, manages to find the Lucio. They're nearly back to that first tick. Fire strike in, Roar rejoining the Shatter. Gonna be ready to go. Beat coming in. Roar stunned up, tries to drop the hammer, but he completely whips it to the side.
He's still alive. He's still alive.
He's trying to stay alive. The overpack comes in, they stun him again. Moved on the side, Shatter out from Mono, not gonna be able to find anything. Elf bars right now for the Gladiators in shambles, with the Beat and the Transcendence both come in stacked on top of each other. Jonak gonna be matching. Keeps Meko safe for now.
They need to get a kill. They need to kill so badly right now, the Gladiators.
Void drops the bomb in on top of the point, buys a little bit of space, but not gonna be able to find any kills here. Jonak finding his way back, staying safe, trying to rejoin. Roar gonna be taken down. That means NYXL still in the fight.
They certainly are. And remember, they only need 58%. Decay's gonna have that grab. He needs stability. He cannot die before that happens.
Void's the only one on the point right now that cannot keep him alive. They start
Decay's gonna go
their way up. The mech's gonna be lost. Decay. A sliver of HP remaining. They manage to tag in. Big Goose getting the bubble, but he's instantly melted down. They almost have it. The grab comes out. Nene grabbing in response, pushing forward. Void 2 kills over to the side of the Gladiators. Now a third. Jonak is taken down. They might actually be able to hold this.
They certainly may. Look at how close it was. Look at how close. 4%. And they step in at the last moment. Heroic plays and great focus fire by the Gladiators. That was insane that they were able to hold that. An incredible hold, but it's not over yet. But this is where they can turn the ult tide in their favor. Hydration's gonna have that rally. He's gonna need it. In this upcoming fight, if Roar can land a Shatter or if they can just delay, there is a world in which they get that grab first, they build a Transcendence, they defend, but they cannot make any mistakes. One early pick might be their tombstone being written.
Yep. Right side approach here for NYXL. Jonak and Anamo both holding on to those support ultimates. A lot of damage on the Void. Nearly gets popped out, still under pressure. trying to get some armor as that rally comes out from hydration, but he's gonna get knocked out of the back. The shatter comes down, manages to only find Mono, but they have to kill him off. The pin's gonna be good. They manage to find him, but is that enough for them to hold out hope? Because Nene, he trades it back.
He's got
now
grab.
hydration's gonna be gone. The beat is still there. And YXL with the shields, trying to live, trying to get this point. Grab comes in off the side, Libero going lower and lower, but he's not dead yet. The beat comes in from Big Moose. Jazz gonna be picked up. The K is gone. One after the other. They all fall. Roar charges in from the side, manages to find one, but he is all by himself with a baby Diva, and Jonek is taking names left and right. They're gonna get the point. They're gonna get the series. And YXL, they move on to the semifinal.
They strike back in stage 2 with a vengeance. Everyone has heard the tales of LW Blues choking, New York choking in playoffs, but I think everyone has to remember 4 playoffs in a row last season, 4 finals. They've made every single playoffs in Overwatch League history. They rise to top 4, and we are one step closer now to that coveted Vancouver versus Titans match we were robbed of last season, or last stage, and it looks very likely to happen. Very excited to see that one. For the Gladiators, they put up a decent fight here, but it was not enough. The New York Excelsior, they stepped up to the plate big time, and what a terrifying team they look in playoffs right now. They could make a run for the finals. Anything is still possible.
The Gladiators just unable to show up here on the day. NYXL looking so utterly dominant. All the other teams now gonna have to be worried. But guys, let's go ahead and throw down to Danny Lim, who's standing by on the floor with Jonak.
Wolf and Achilles, thank you very much. What is up, everybody? I am here, joined by the one and only Jonak from NYXL. Everybody make some noise for Jonak. Congratulations on your win. Now, before coming into today's match, you guys suffered some tough losses against the Atlanta Reign. Jonak, because of that, did you guys feel an extra pressure to sort of show everyone that you guys are still one of the best teams in the Overwatch League? 자, 오늘 아무래도 오늘 경기에 들어오면서 아틀란타와의 경기에서 좀 아쉽게 패배를 몇 번 봐서 오늘 좀 아직도 뉴욕이 강팀이다라는 걸 사람들에게 보여주기 위한 좀 부담감을 좀 느끼셨나요?
아틀란타한테 지고 부담감을 느낀 건 하나도 없었고 그냥 우리가 아틀란타한테 진다고 이러면서 좀 화가 많이 나가지고 더 이를 갈고 열심히 했습니다.
Alrighty, I wouldn't say that we felt any added pressure. It was more of anger. We were just really surprised that we lost to Atlanta Reign, so we just really grinded hard and we were ready for today's match, and we won. And you guys did really dominate today's match, 3-0. Amazing job. Semifinals tomorrow. If Vancouver wins, it'll be Vancouver Titans versus the NYXL. It's a matchup that a lot of people have been looking forward to. Jonak, how confident are you going into semifinals? 자, 내일 이제 준결승전 아마 만약에 밴쿠버 팀이 오늘 이긴다면은 밴쿠버 대 뉴욕이 될 텐데요. 아무래도 이 경기가 좀 많은 분들이 기대를 한 경기 같아요. 준결승전에 들어오면서 좀 얼마나 자신감이 있으십니까?
지금 밴쿠버가 진 적이 한 번도 없는데 솔직히 왜 한 번도 안 진지 모르겠고 저희가 무조건 이길 거라 자신합니다.
Alright, so Vancouver Titans are currently undefeated. I honestly don't know why they are undefeated. I'm pretty sure that we will beat them tomorrow. Jonah, spicy answer. I love those answers. Thank you so much. Wolf and Achilles, back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Danny. I mean, you can always expect the heat coming from Jonak. But guys, let's go ahead and see who our player of the match is. It's gonna be Mono.
He stole the show. I mean, this guy today, incredible shatters, great follow-ups with Meko, the combos of old that we saw from them so much in stage 1. You know, everyone predicted this team to win stage 1 off of the tank line. Something changed, the playstyle was altered a little bit in stage 2, felt like some experimentation, but they went back to tried and true in this series, and Mono hit several game-winning shatters across every map.
Guys, absolutely 34 Earth Shatter Suns in 3 maps. And I mean, you know, 69-19 as far as his limbs versus deaths. This guy was on fire. He looked like a completely different, I mean, he looked like himself before the Atlanta series, really.
He shattered the mentality as well of the Gladiators. They were doing so much to try to play around him, but were unsuccessful, playing scared. And what you don't see on this stat card is all the self-destructs he empowered and set up, and all the charge kills he got in the grabs that were basically the bread and butter that we were seeing from NYXL. The playstyle, again, it's obvious what New York is doing. They do it every time, but that's not stopping them from winning. Predictability isn't a weakness if no one can shut you down.
I mean, a well-deserved victory here for player of the match. You could have kind of split it between multiple other people, but Mono was able to take it in the end, of course, presented by Omen, by HP, as always. But go ahead and take a look at the bracket. We already know which two teams could be going up against NYXL just tomorrow. It's either going to be the Fuel versus the Titans. As we've talked about, a lot of people excited for that matchup versus the Titans, but imagine the hype if Fuel takes them down, gives them their first match loss, and then rides in to try to face against NYXL.
It would be the battle of the blue. If the Fuel are able to take out the Titans, it would be such an interesting matchup versus the Excelsior as well, because of how they play Sombra and how good they are at running these compositions with Note OG. And I think their playstyle does in a lot of ways counter what New York likes to run. So, you know, either way, we get the amazing New York Titans or we get this Fuel underdog story. And I mean, as usual, stage playoffs, they don't disappoint.
No, they do not. Well, time will tell who's going to be joining NYXL in that semifinal match tomorrow, because we got the series coming up next. Don't miss it, guys. Titans versus Fuel. It should be a good one, so don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.